Flo needs help? Take me to her! We're coming, Flo! Why aren't we taking roads? Flo!
Oh, you made it. Do you have change for $1?
This was the emergency? Yes, I was busy.
24-hour roadside assistance from America's #1 motorcycle insurer.
You know, I think you're my best friend. You don't have to say I'm your best friend. That's okay.
We'd heard of Angie's List, but we didn't really know what it did.
I know they've got reviews for home pros, but so do a lot of websites.
I didn't want to pay to join. Then I found out it's free.
Wait, it's free?
Free to check ratings, read reviews.
And Angie's List reviews are written by real customers. So I know the pros have done quality work.
And now they'll even match my project with a few qualified pros for the job.
And it's all free.
To get the most reviews from real customers, all for free, go to angieslist.com today.
Attention, knee replacement recipients. If you've had or need knee revision surgery, or if your knee replacement has come loose and causing you problems, you need to call this number, 800-469-0000. It's been reported that a large number of knee implants have come loose and multiple complaints have been filed with the FDA. Loose implants may cause pain and other serious injuries, so take action immediately. Call 800-469-0000. We can help. Call 1-800-469-0000 right now.
Hi, I'm Johnny Bench. After a Hall of Fame career, it's no wonder why I use Blue Emu Arthritis Cream. Blue Emu's non-greasy, deep penetrating formula gets down deep into those joints for big-time pain relief. Blue Emu, it works fast and you won't stink.
Nobody gets your carpet, tile, or hardwood as clean and healthy as Stanley Steamer.
That's why I call.
Call or go online for our $99 special.
Stanley Steamer, your certified cleaner.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, inventor of MyPillow. Thanks to your support, you've helped make MyPillow become one of the fastest growing companies in America. Over the last 12 years, you've helped MyPillow create thousands of jobs right here in the USA.
When I got MyPillow, I'm asleep almost immediately. I stay asleep at night and I wake up more well-rested in the morning.
That's why I invented MyPillow. My patented fill adjusts to your exact individual needs and helps keep your neck supported and aligned.
Call or go to MyPillow.com. Use the promo code and save over 50% with Mike's 4-pack. You'll get 2 MyPillow premiums and 2 Go Anywhere pillows. It's one of his best offers ever. Order now.
With our 60-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to lose. Sleep well, America!
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit MyPillow.com.
These birds, once affected by oil, are heading back home thanks to Dawn. Rescue workers only trust Dawn because it's tough on grease yet gentle.
I am home, I am home, I am home.
At Safe Flight Auto Glass, we know that when you're spending time with the grandkids, every minute counts. And you don't have time for a cracked windshield. That's why we show you exactly when we'll be there, saving you time so you can keep saving the world.
Safe Flight Repair, Safe Flight Replace.
Fox News Channel on Sirius XM. Your favorite shows on Channel 114. Plus, every story, every 15 minutes. Fox News headlines 24/7 at Channel 115.
All right, President Trump blasting the FBI for raiding his attorney's office, and who wouldn't, calling it a, quote, attack on our country. But this morning, our next guest warns it's all one big trap.
What kind of trap? Let's talk to constitutional law professor at George Washington University, Jonathan Turley, who joins us from our nation's capital. Professor, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning. All right, so it looks as if they're going after Michael Cohen on bank fraud. Unrelated to the Russia investigation, it seems, but you say it's all about using him as bait, right?
Well, that's the point of my Hill column this morning, is that the president has to be very careful. The greatest danger that he faces is not Michael Cohen as a defendant, but Michael Cohen as bait. You know, the president was actually in a fairly safe place 48 hours ago. He was following his attorney's advice. He was prepping for a negotiated and limited interview with Mueller. And then suddenly this happens. And if, in many ways, this could be as cunning as it is hostile on the part of Rod Rosenstein. You know, he expanded the mandate for Mueller to go after Manafort on crimes that were far more remote than this. So why would he refer it to the Southern District?
Yeah.
Well, it has a real threat for the president. It expands the investigation, involves the Southern District that can prosecute it. But if the president reacts aggressively, he could end up triggering a far more serious problem for himself and his presidency.
Well, I mean, for one thing, why would Rod Rosenstein, appointed by the president, feel as though he had to be this aggressive, this hostile, this obstinate?
Well, you know, I think that, quite frankly, the president laid himself open for this. For months, some of us have been saying he needed to sever his contacts with Michael Cohen, who charitably is not the most respected attorney in terms of his conduct. And he also needed to get out of the Stormy Daniels litigation. Neither of those things have happened, and the costs are mounting. Now, that doesn't mean that the president is wrong for being aggrieved about his attorney and his, being searched. That is always going to be something that is a fairly extreme step. But the president needs to focus on the threat. The threat here is if he reacts badly, if he acts aggressively and fires Mueller, I think he's going to magnify the dangers for himself and his presidency.
All right, let's talk about Loretta Lynch. Last night she was on with Lester Holt, and in the interview she said she never wished for the former FBI Director James Comey to be fired, knew that the tarmac meeting would raise some eyebrows, and she said they only talked about grandchildren and issues of the day. Hillary's emails never came up. Then Lester asked her about the issue between matter and investigation. Listen to what she said.
So Comey says you want to call it the Clinton matter. He wants to call it the Clinton investigation. To the extent, though, that he noted it, that it bothered him, did he go to you and question your credibility with regard to the Clinton case?
Well, yeah, I can tell you that, you know, it was a meeting like any other that we had where we talked about the issues. And we had a full and open discussion about it.
He didn't raise any concerns about it?
And concerns were not raised.
Right? Comey lied because Comey says he did raise concerns, and he was so moved that he had to go and get, after the tarmac meeting, he had to go and make his little announcement. So who's telling the truth?
Well, this is not good for a book tour. You know, the book is portraying him as the stalwart soul who fought the good fight against bad odds. In reality, this is not just the first contradiction for Comey. You know, McCabe also contradicted Comey. McCabe said that Comey knew about the supposed leak to the Wall Street Journal. And so these are a lot of contradictions that don't help when you're trying to sell books.
No kidding. Democrats hate him because of what he did to Hillary, and Republicans hate him because of what he did to Trump. Who's going to buy the book? We'll see.
And also the Inspector General might be interested in getting to the truth, right?
That's right, and that torpedo is still in the water.
All right. Thank you very much. Jonathan Turley talked about bait today and torpedoes in the water.
All right, coming up
Wide-ranging.
yeah, that's the other big story today is Facebook. And Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg got grilled, will be getting grilled on Capitol Hill, we think. He had a series of meetings yesterday. Senator Chuck Grassley will co-chair this hearing. He'll tell us what he wants to hear and what questions he'll ask next.
And the National Guard securing our southern border right now, and we're getting an exclusive look at our troops in action. Griff Jenkins takes us for a border fly-along. Coming up.
Looks like there's crossing now. Wow. So they just brought whatever they brought over. Now they're going back to get more.
Why is Old Dominion #1 in customer satisfaction? Maybe it's OD's over 99% on-time rate, or our decades of supply chain experience that support the dynamic digital marketplace. Or because when we promise something, we keep our promise. The reason OD is #1 in customer satisfaction is our people, who never stop working to make your shipping easier. Old Dominion, helping the world keep promises.
I chose Medi Weight Loss because it's medically supervised, clinically proven, and they created a plan just for me.
I went from a size 20 to a size 8.
Medi Weight Loss kept me motivated. I lost over 70 pounds.
60 pounds, I'm 55 and fabulous.
The Medi Weight Loss products and supplements helped me stay on track, and I lost 60 pounds.
You can lose up to 10 pounds the first week. Visit startmedi.com to shop online and find a location near you.
I never thought I'd say this, but I found bladder leak underwear that's actually pretty. Always Discreet Boutique. Hidden inside is a super absorbent core that quickly turns liquid to gel, so I feel protected and pretty. Always Discreet Boutique.
Seresto, Seresto, Seresto. Whatever your dog brings home to you, it shouldn't be fleas and ticks. Seresto gives your dog 8 continuous months of flea and tick protection in an easy-to-use, non-greasy collar. 8 months. Seresto, Seresto, Seresto.
Here's the story of Green Mountain Coffee Roasters Sumatra Reserve, told in the time it takes to brew your cup. Let's go to Sumatra. Where's Sumatra? Good question. This is Vin, and that's Vin's goat, Adi. The coffee here is amazing because the volcanic soil is amazing, making the coffee erupt with flavor. So we give farmers like Vin more plants to grow more delicious coffee that erupts with even more flavor, which helps provide for Vin's family. And Adi the goat's family too, because his kids eat a lot. All for a smoother tasting cup of coffee. Green Mountain Coffee Roasters, packed with goodness.
This is a warning to homeowners. The FBI calls home title fraud the fastest growing white-collar crime in America.
We were opening the mail and our bank told us we were 3 months behind on a home loan we never took out.
Title fraud is where criminals silently drain the equity in your home. Home Title Lock was established to help protect unsuspecting Americans from this financial disaster.
Everything a cyber thief needs to steal your home's title is online. They simply forge a few documents to change the ownership from you to them. Then they borrow tens of thousands of dollars against the equity in your home without you knowing. Title fraud isn't covered by the bank, homeowners insurance, or even identity theft protection.
It took months and thousands in legal fees to get our home back.
Home Title Lock will monitor the title of your home 24/7 and has expert staff to help end this financial and emotional nightmare. Sign up today at HometitleLock.com and get a free scan of the dark web to see if your home's title has already been compromised. Call or go to HometitleLock.com.
Here's some quick headlines for you, starting with a Fox News alert. There will be more attacks. A chilling terror warning coming from the British ISIS cell known as the Beatles. In an interview with Sky News, the terrorists said that they joined ISIS for religious reasons and did not condemn attacks in Europe and the UK. The men were captured by U.S.-backed forces earlier this year. And the woman attacked by a nerve agent with her ex-Russian spy father is going home. Yulia Skripal, released from a British hospital today.
This is not the end of her treatment, but marks a significant milestone.
Russia is denying any involvement. Steve?
All right, Ainsley, thank you. The CEO of Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, made an appearance on Capitol Hill yesterday. He met with key lawmakers ahead of a joint hearing between the Senate Judiciary and Commerce Committees that commences today at 2 o'clock. So what was discussed and what can we expect from his testimony? Let's talk to Iowa Senator Chuck Grassley. He's the chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee. He met with Mark Zuckerberg yesterday. He joins us live from the Capitol. Senator, what did Mr. Zuckerberg say yesterday regarding his testimony today?
Well, the half-hour meeting we had was basically one about the process of how these two committees are going to conduct it, so we would inform him ahead of time. He told us a little bit, like probably what's in his written statement that was released yesterday, how he was going to approach the hearing and how he was going to answer questions, and I think a remorseful approach that probably he didn't do his due diligence over the last few years of protecting people's privacy as Facebook had promised.
Sure.
Beyond that, we didn't have much other discussion, more process and substance.
He seemed a little freaked out. You know, he's getting called on the carpet over the fact that Facebook has laid bare millions of people's private facts all across the internet.
Yeah, this brings into focus the sharp realization of 87 million people of what Facebook can let the world know about you if they don't do their due diligence and protect that privacy. And people go into it with the understanding of some privacy, and then of course they're warned about it, but in a very obscure way through fine print and other things. So this brings up, what can we do either through legislation, regulation, or better yet, if the companies will do it themselves to make sure that people know about the restrictions that they have on privacy, and are they going, once they have good rules, are they going to abide by those rules? Because quite frankly, they presumed they had those rules, but they didn't enforce them.
Sure. Well, Senator, it looks like this whole scandal involving Cambridge Analytica prompted this when it was revealed that tens of millions of people's information was scraped by that company and then somehow wound up being used by the Trump campaign. But I understand that particular ploy, the internet ploy, has been used. It was used by the Obama team back a couple of years ago, so it's nothing new.
That's right. I think that they bragged about similar access to this information for the 2012 re-election of Obama. And then don't forget, Cambridge Analytica tapped into Facebook and got this information probably a year before there was even a Trump candidacy. But I hope that we don't get down in the weeds about the election, because this is more about privacy and all the data that this company collects about people and the protection of that data and the protection of privacy. I hope that ought to be our main focus.
As the senior senator from Iowa, and I'm from Iowa as well, and covered your first Senate run back in the day, I know you're also interested in protecting the farmers. And some of the comments about that the president has made about potential tariffs has a lot of farmers freaked out. I know that China is saying that tariffs on car imports apparently will be cut this year. So it sounds like the president, who's been kind of negotiating through the press with the Chinese, sounds like that's a win for us.
Well, if we can get China to do what they ought to do, and I'm one of the few senators still in the Senate that voted for them to be in the WTO, you did this so that they would live by the rules of international trade. So they're the second biggest economy in the world. We're the first biggest. You would think anything that they expect to do in our country, we ought to be able to do in their country. Sure. That's a level playing field. But I was one of 5 senators, went over there a couple weeks ago on a trade mission, visiting with the communist leaders, and quite frankly, I came away with a conviction that they'll do anything ethically or unethically, morally or immorally, or legally or illegally, even violating their own laws to keep ahead of the United States and get all the help on high-tech industries from our country, like, for instance, stealing our trade secrets.
Absolutely, which they do each and every day. Well, it'll be interesting to see what happens. Chuck Grassley, Senator from the great state of Iowa. Sir, thank you very much for joining us live.
Thank you.
You bet. All right, 8:30 now here in New York City. Hundreds of extra National Guard troops are being deployed to our southern border, including more than 200 from Arizona. Coming up, Governor Doug Ducey says this shouldn't be a partisan issue. He will join us live next. Plus, our friend and new mom, Anna Koyman, is back. She's in the green room, as you can see, with JD and the baby Brooks. Right back.
Patrick woke up with back pain, but he has work to do, so he took a leave. If he'd taken Tylenol, he'd be stopping for more pills right now. Only Aleve has the strength to stop tough pain for up to 12 hours with just one pill. Aleve, all day strong.
Today's workplace is rapidly changing, and HR professionals must be at the top of their game. Nothing spells that more clearly than SHRM CP and SHRM SCP, the profession's premier competency-based certifications from SHRM. Ongoing training to help you build a thriving workplace and keep your HR career on the move. SHRM CP, SHRM SCP. Credentials that say,
I am ready. Because I am. I am. I am SHRM certified.
Learn more at shrm.org/SHRM certified.
I've been caring for people my whole adult life. I couldn't think of doing anything else. Since I joined the Visiting Angels team, I've found a compassionate group of professionals that have become more like a family than just an employer. I love the opportunity to care for my seniors, and the Visiting Angels team gives the support that both families and caregivers rely on.
Visiting Angels,
America's choice in home care.
Best Western rewards you in a flash. With points that never expire, earn a free night fast at over 4,200 hotels worldwide. Book now at bestwestern.com and get a $10 gift card with every stay.
I was wondering if an electric toothbrush really cleans better than a manual, and my hygienist says it does, but they're not all the same. Who knew? I had no idea. So she said look for one that's shaped like a dental tool with a round brush head.
Go pro with Oral-B. Oral-B's rounded brush head surrounds each tooth to gently remove more plaque. And Oral-B is the first electric toothbrush brand accepted by the American Dental Association for its effectiveness and safety.
My mouth feels so clean. I'll only use an Oral-B.
Oral-B. Brush like a pro.
Hey, renovators. Time to dream bigger.
Wayfair, you're my new secret weapon. You got what I need for my renovation. I love all these options, so much to choose from. Bedrooms and basements, even my kitchen, your service is sweet. And my job is complete. Wayfair, here I come.
Start your renovation at wayfair.com.
Hands go here. Feet go here. You know what goes here. And your approval rating goes here. Test drive the Z-Track Z540R at your John Deere dealer and learn why it's not how fast you mow. It's how well you mow fast. Nothing runs like a Deere. Save $250 when you test drive and buy a John Deere residential Z540R Z-Track mower.
Well, the president ordered up the National Guard last week, and now the National Guard actually securing our border, and we're getting an exclusive look at the troops in action over the Rio Grande Valley.
Griff Jenkins went on a fly-along mission over our southern border, and he joins us now in Laredo. Hey, Griff.
Good morning. It's amazing how well the National Guard and CBP are working to provide eyes in the sky, and we got a first-hand look with them over the very porous border sector near Laredo. Take a look.
All right, baggage cargo. Security it is.
Got 2992 information Romeo. But we've already got body traffic to the south here, so we're going to be going directly to the river.
I mean, it was just a matter of minutes, seconds. We got up in the air, already on it.
We're already on it. Possibly a vehicle that's loaded up with either narcotics or just body traffic. We're not too certain.
Right there, black SUV.
That truck pulled into the neighborhood back on the right. You can see that within seconds of we taking off, they crossed and were in two vehicles that quick, and we weren't able to get them. So this is why 24-hour surveillance, especially when it comes to air operations, needs to happen.
What is the most stunning thing to see from this perspective is if you look out of this window, this is the Rio Grande River, and you see this road. They tell us that this is one of the most trafficked areas for narcotics because you can see, you come across ankle-deep water, and you are right on the road. It looks like there's crossing now. Wow. So they just brought whatever they brought over, now they're going back to get more.
Yep, that's it. Right now it's just a hunt. And they can lay up, they can get under rocks, trees, and they'll wait it out for hours.
He said you've got 171 nautical miles of the river. How much of this is wall?
Zero on this in this ALR, this sector. Things shut down real quick when an aircraft gets here.
5 hours later, that same crew seized 362 pounds of narcotics. The Border Patrol behind me has gotten very interested in something, and that's why Texas Governor Greg Abbott added more than 1,000 guardsmen to this border, as well as in Arizona. The governor there, Doug Ducey, adding more than 300 guardsmen. That story is going to continue to grow today, guys.
It is indeed. All right, Griff, thank you very much. You just mentioned the Arizona governor, Doug Ducey, no relation to this Ducey. He joins us right now from Arizona. Good morning to you, Governor. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Good morning. Thanks for having me.
You say that now that the president has ordered up up to 4,000 National Guardsmen to guard our southern border, this should not be a partisan issue.
Well, it's not a partisan issue. This is all about public safety. We're talking about securing our border and stopping the flow of illegal drugs and human trafficking that's happening at the border. That's something that a governor does. Their first role and responsibility is to protect the public and to make certain there's border security. And I'm thankful that we have an administration that sees it the same way.
And what is your role in this? How many are you sending down to the border?
My role is to deploy the National Guard. We're working with 225. We're called up yesterday. We're going to call up another 113 today. We're working directly with Secretary Nielsen, Director of Homeland Security, and of course our General of the National Guard and Department of Public Safety, Frank Milstead. We have a border strike force that we've had for the last several years because Washington wasn't addressing this issue, and thankfully today they are.
Well, Governor, the key would be ultimately is not to be able to have to deploy the National Guard. And a lot of people think that putting a permanent barrier would work. If I could give you a permanent barrier, what would it look like? How many miles would you need?
Well, we have about 379 miles of border here in Arizona. About 2/3 of it has a physical barrier somewhere on it.
Is it good enough, that physical barrier?
Well, it's not good enough. In many places, it's wide open and unprotected. That's why I think putting the National Guard down there in support of the Border Patrol is a good idea. But to secure the border, to stop these illegal drugs, to stop the human trafficking, we're going to need technology. We're going to need that physical barrier. We're going to need a wall in different places, boots on the ground, and people that are there observing with cameras so that we can stop this flow of illegal traffic that's coming into our state and into our country.
When you became governor, was that one of the things that surprised you the most about your state? What's happening there on the border? And you said only 1/3 of it has some sort of a barrier?
About 2/3 of it has a barrier.
Okay.
I would say the biggest surprise for me was going down to the border, working with the ranchers, and seeing how wide open and unprotected our border was and how much it was ignored and neglected in the previous administration. There's been some consistency in this administration. It's definitely getting attention, and it's part of the reason that we've been able to drive the number of illegal flow down, but it surged dramatically in March, and there's action being taken immediately.
Sure. Governor, you said that this should not be a partisan issue when it comes to ordering up the National Guard to secure our southern border. But then you've got the governor of your next door state, California, Jerry Brown, up in Sacramento. He hasn't decided whether or not this is a good idea.
Well, we do things a lot different than Jerry Brown does here in Arizona. We think that this flow of drugs and human trafficking is something that we want to stop. We want to keep our state safe and secure for the Arizonans that live here. I was on a conference call with Governor Brown. It was very productive. It sounded like he would be cooperative, but he's got to make these decisions.
What do you mean cooperative?
Well, it was a good discussion. It was myself, Governor Brown, Governor Abbott, and Governor Martinez. And the discussion with Secretary Nielsen was what the situation was at the border and how the National Guard could help.
Yeah, but he hasn't done anything. What's the problem?
This sounds like a question for Governor Brown.
Right.
Did he tell you he was going to send troops down to his border?
He said he was going to consider it. I mean, each of the governors were treated as leaders of their states.
And your state just blocked colleges from offering in-state tuition to Dreamers as well.
The Supreme Court.
In California.
No, it didn't block it. It was already the law of the land. The Supreme Court made the decision that was the law. So now the onus is back on the regents as to how they solve this issue.
Got it.
Yeah. How can you get in-state tuition if you are in the country illegally? That's a head scratcher. All right.
Thanks, Governor, and happy birthday. Was it
Thanks
yesterday?
very much. Appreciate it. It was yesterday. Thank you very much.
All right, Governor Ducey, thank you. All right, it's 19 minutes now before the top of the hour on this Tuesday. The economy is booming in the state of Nebraska. There are more residents working and fewer people on welfare in the unicameral Cornhusker state. So what's their secret? That report coming up next.
Plus, our friend and new mom, Anna Koyman, is back. We're going to catch up with her and her precious baby boy, Brooks, reading Janice's book.
He's sleeping through the book.
She was an American girl.
What pushes us further than our best?
Is it the competition? Or a personal test?
Or perhaps it's a hybrid of both. Your best is always ahead.
Because better is a never-ending quest.
Introducing the all-new Accord Hybrid. Now, North American Car of the Year for 2018.
Hiring was always a huge challenge. Endless hours on job sites with not a lot to show for it. Then, I found ZipRecruiter. They figured out hiring. I post my job, they put it all over the web, and they send me the right people, because their technology is smart. ZipRecruiter often sends me the right person in 24 hours.
ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. Try it for free today at ZipRecruiter.com/Fox.
Guys, is this you? Busting out of your pants, no energy or drive, and you need Nutrisystem for Men. New for 2018, our best program ever. Lose up to 18 pounds and 8 inches overall in your first month. Money back guarantee.
I'm Essex, and I lost 43 pounds on Nutrisystem.
I lost 120 pounds on Nutrisystem.
Put down the wings, pick up the phone, and get with the program today. Order your 28-day plan right now, and we'll rush you Nutrisystem for Men with specially designed meals. Plus, 1 week of all new NutriCur bars free. 1 week of all new NutriPro shakes packed with 20 grams of protein to help shrink your gut, free. And 1 week of all new turbo boosters to rev your metabolism, free.
The food was delicious.
Pasta, pizza.
If you're like me and you like to eat, this is what you get to do.
Call or go online in the next 2 minutes, and we'll even throw in FedEx shipping, free.
It was perfect for guys like me who don't like to cook.
Lose up to 18 pounds and 8 inches overall in your first month.
It's simple. You eat the food, you lose the weight.
Go online or call 877-915-THIN and get Nutrisystem for Men with bars, NutriPro shakes, and turbo boosters free.
Why did she borrow $42,000 for tuition? Why did she borrow $19,400 for room and board? Why did she borrow $1,100 for student fees and $250 for a graduation gown? She did it to work for you. And now you can do something for her with a job benefit that helps your employees pay off their student loans. Gratify is gratitude.
Get a free mesothelioma book from mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. That's why we offer this free book.
Call toll-free at 1-800-745-BOOK.
Feel the clarity of non-drowsy Claritin 24-hour relief when allergies occur. Day after day after day. Because life should have more wishes and less worries. Feel the clarity and live Claritin Clear.
Welcome back. Hope you're having a good morning so far. Florida Governor Rick Scott making a bid for a U.S. Senate seat as the GOP battles to keep the majority of the chamber. Scott plans to campaign on lower taxes, less regulations, and more jobs. He'll face off against three-term Democratic incumbent Bill Nelson, saying it's time for a fresh face in Washington.
We know the ideas at Washington haven't been working. It's not been working for us. We've got to get some fresh ideas. We've got to get new ideas in there. We've got to get talkers out of there. We've got to get doers in there. And that's what I'm going to run on.
President Trump informally endorsed Scott last year. Take a look at this. Terrified children jump from a balcony as flames rip through a dance studio. The dramatic escape caught on camera.
Oh my God. Get down, get down, get down, get down, get down, get down. Lay down, lay down.
You can see the girls falling from the second floor, escaping the raging fire in New Jersey. They couldn't reach the ladders and had to jump down. No one was seriously hurt. Thank goodness. Ainsley.
All right, thank you. Nebraska's economy is firing on all cylinders. More people are actually working and fewer people are on food stamps in that state. So what is the secret there?
Yeah, that's a pretty good combination. Our next guest says the GOP Governor Pete Ricketts' focus on reemployment rather than unemployment has allowed the state to reach its lowest unemployment rate in nearly 2 decades.
Taryn Bragdon is the president and CEO of the Foundation for Government Accountability, and he writes all about Nebraska's success in a new FoxNews.com op-ed, and he joins us now. Good morning to you. Thanks for being with us. What are they doing in Nebraska? How are they seeing all the success?
Well, Nebraska hasn't discovered some secret formula. What they did was simply make work a priority. And they know that if you pay people not to work, then they won't. And so what Governor Ricketts did is he realizes if you want to win the war on poverty, then you have to end the war on work.
All right, for example, if you're on food stamps and no one wants to be on food stamps, but you want to help people get off it, how? You're doing training?
Exactly. Basically, they did two things. First, you have to work for welfare. And then secondly, they made it easier to get a job by eliminating barriers to work.
Are there any exceptions?
There are exceptions for individuals with disabilities, the elderly, for children. So we're focused on able-bodied adults.
You know, what's interesting too is like when you put a work aspect to welfare, you actually make contacts. No matter what that job is, you make people, you get out, you get into a more of a routine, makes you more open to possibly getting that job or changing that career. But you also demand that people go out and look for a job. How do you follow up with that?
Well, I think first we recognize that there are 6 million open jobs right now across America. So there'll literally never be a better time to move millions from welfare to work. But what you need to do is have a work requirement that says to individuals on welfare, it's time to get back to work and we'll help you get there.
What's his approval rating in Nebraska? Are people liking him there because of all of this?
His approval rating, like a lot of governors, is kind of middle of the road, but I think that people like to work and people like to get a paycheck, and people recognize that if we're going to keep this economy going, then we have to move millions of Americans who are on the sidelines today and get them back to work.
Absolutely. Hey, Taryn Bragdon, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks, Taryn.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, our friend and new mama, Anna Koyman, is back with her baby. His name is Brooks, and they're going to join us on the Curvy Couch next.
But first, let's go to a grown-up, Sandra Smith. She has her own show, and she hosts with Bill.
She's also a mama.
Yes, I am, and so are you, and welcome back to Anna, beautiful baby there. Well, it is a big morning, everybody. We are awaiting a UN Security Council vote on Syria. A decision on our next move could come at any moment. The president says he plans to respond forcefully. General Jack Keane here on what that may look like and when something may happen. And the president not happy with those FBI surprise raids on his attorney's office, calling it a total witch hunt in a tweet this morning. More reaction from the White House coming up. And Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg, he is in a suit this morning facing a grilling on Capitol Hill. What will we learn? Senators Rand Paul and Cory Gardner are here. America's Newsroom begins in about 10 minutes.
Nothing says spring like fresh flowers, so let's promote our spring travel deal on choicehotels.com like this. Earn 1 free night when you stay just twice this spring.
Allergies. Or, bada book, bada boom.
Book now at choicehotels.com.
Who can help you undo the damage done by fire or water? Search no further than the experts at ServiceMaster Restore. We help people go from disaster to done. ServiceMaster Restore.
Action. Canine Advantix 2 kills fleas, ticks, and mosquitoes through contact. No biting required.
Judge, I'm not feeling the no biting required line.
Nah. Somebody get this guy a muzzle. Canine Advantix 2 from Bayer. Wise choice.
When you've got nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea. Nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea. Here's Pepto-Bismol. Nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
You won't see these folks at the post office. They have businesses to run. They have passions to pursue. How do they avoid trips to the post office? Stamps.com. Mail letters. Ship packages. All the amazing services of the post office right on your computer. Get a 4-week trial plus $100 in extras, including postage and a digital scale. Go to stamps.com/try and never go to the post office again.
Only Invisalign clear aligners are made with Smart Track material to precisely move your teeth to your best smile. See how Invisalign treatment can shape your smile up to 50% faster today at Invisalign.com.
When you look down, the planet is revealing itself to you.
8 astronauts can tell us how being up there helped them to truly understand what goes on down here.
One Strange Rock, Mondays at 10 on National Geographic.
This is a warning to homeowners. The FBI calls home title fraud the fastest growing white-collar crime in America.
We were opening the mail and our bank told us we were 3 months behind on a home loan we never took out.
Title fraud is where criminals silently drain the equity in your home. Home Title Lock was established to help protect unsuspecting Americans from this financial disaster.
Everything a cyber thief needs to steal your home's title is online. They simply forge a few documents to change the ownership from you to them. Then they borrow tens of thousands of dollars against the equity in your home without you knowing. Title fraud isn't covered by the bank, homeowners insurance, or even identity theft protection.
It took months and thousands in legal fees to get our home back.
Home Title Lock will monitor the title of your home 24/7 and has expert staff to help end this financial and emotional nightmare. Sign up today at HometitleLock.com and get a free scan of the dark web to see if your home's title has already been compromised. Call or go to HometitleLock.com.
Look who's here. Anna Coyman. She is our former Fox and Friends weekend host. Moved to Australia and had a baby.
I think the last time I was on, we were doing pregnancy workouts downstairs, and I was doing the announcement, and now I get to announce that he's here. Thank you for all the support everybody's been giving me on social media and everything as a new mom. This is Brooks Coyman Stuckey. Hey, buddy, you gotta look at the camera if you're gonna be married, or if you're gonna be the baby of a TV mama.
Yeah, no kidding. So how
Thanks for having me on the show.
How was the trip from Australia to the United States with the baby?
28 hours later.
Wow. That's a lot of lap time.
By myself. I'm gone for 6 weeks. You know, international marriages are tough. You got to do stuff like this sometimes when the babies are born and they can meet extended family members. He met my grandma Brooks Summerall, who he was named after, and he also is going to meet my other grandmother coming up later. But anyway, yeah, you know, it is tough. I'm away from my husband for a whole month. He's coming on the tail end of the trip.
He's missing y'all.
And I know already he is. He took me to the airport.
Right
I think we have some video of him at the airport with me, or at least some travel video. It was quite the experience. Well, here I am at one of the airports. I carried my baby. He's having some rumbles in his pants right now. But yeah, so it was 28 hours. A flight from Sydney to LA is 15. We had a 4-hour layover. Going through customs was tough. I was getting my breast milk tested here. I documented the entire thing as if traveling for 28 hours with an infant on my own wasn't enough. Sam Honig, my producer's like, yeah, can you document that? Because we want to do a story about that.
But did she fly to Australia to meet you?
Nope, I did the whole thing by myself and had some very. Did you hear that? Good champ!
Okay.
I'm not mad. I'm impressed.
Now,
yeah, I had nice people that helped me.
While you're here, next week you're going to actually be doing some mom-related events.
Yeah, last night it was such a special moment. I was there, Ainsley, Janice, Jackie Ibanez, and of course Abby. We were at her house, and we all had the babies together. And there were a few incidents with crayons on furniture and poopy pants and all kinds of stuff.
Yep,
but it was fun.
Look, there we all are with our little ones.
We just had a blast. It was so special. And yeah, when I'm coming back, actually, I'm going back to North Carolina so I can see my grandma Coyman. She's flying up from Florida as we speak. But I'm going to come back to New York City, and we're going to do a lot of different mom segments that I get to be a part of. I've been focusing a lot on being a mommy and baby blogging, and also fitness, travel, lifestyle on my website, AnnaCoyman.com. And I hope that some young people who are about my age, who are interested in the same things as me, will subscribe to that too.
Well, you'll always have us as your sisters to help you along, because I think that's really important, you know, to have, you know, a support group when you're a new mom.
Yeah.
What's been the best part of being a mom?
I have this overwhelming sense of peace, and I just can't even describe it. All of my friends in Australia, they say that I'm so different. I can be wound up like a top sometimes, you know, I have so much energy and everything, and I'm just kind of like, yeah, what's up? Everything's going to be all right. So sometimes I think newborns do the opposite. It makes chill people more wound up. Well, it's made this wound up person more chill. So
Brooke seems pretty chilled out right now.
He is. He's such a good baby.
What does he look like?
He's a good sleeper. Well, everybody says he looks like my husband. Wishful thinking, I think he's starting to look like me a little bit too. He's got a dimple like my husband. Let's see.
They changed. You'll see yourself in him.
Yeah, and every once in a while I'll get a glance. I think he looks like my brother. No!
When he goes to college.
Yeah,
Look
but
at that.
yeah, I'm just so happy. I can't even tell you. So
There you are with Tim and Baxter.
That's my husband, Tim, and Baxter. Baxter watches over the bassinet every once in a while. I think we could have brought an alien home though, and Baxter would have been fine. He's such a good
lover,
boy.
yeah.
We love Brooks.
Anna, we're going to take a quick time out. Be back in about 3 minutes.
Perdóname,
mission to show drip coffee drinkers it's time to wake up to Keurig. Wakey, wakey, rise and shine. How are you? Well, watch this. I pop that in there, press brew, that's it.
So rich.
I love it.
That's why you should be a Keurig man. Full-bodied.
Are you sure you're describing the coffee and not me?
I chose Medi Weight Loss because it's medically supervised, clinically proven, and they created a plan just for me.
I went from a size 20 to a size 8.
Medi Weight Loss kept me motivated. I lost over 70 pounds.
60 pounds, I'm 55 and fabulous.
The Medi Weight Loss products and supplements helped me stay on track, and I lost 60 pounds.
You can lose up to 10 pounds the first week. Visit startmedi.com to shop online and find a location near you.
There are lots of home service companies that will refer you to contractors who do big jobs, but what if you just need help with simple things like cleaning your house, mowing your yard, or simple handyman repairs? The Tackle app connects you with background check providers who are standing by to help with small chores. And with the Tackle app, all jobs are pre-priced, and you can have someone on the way immediately. Download the Tackle app today and get $50 off your first job. Get your to-do list done with Tackle.
I never thought I'd say this, but I found bladder leak underwear that's actually pretty. Always Discreet Boutique. Hidden inside is a super absorbent core that quickly turns liquid to gel, so I feel protected and pretty. Always Discreet Boutique.
You take care of business. Let Office Depot Office Max take care of you. And this week only at Office Depot Office Max, HP ink is buy one, get one for 30% off. Plus, never run out of ink with an Office Depot ink and toner subscription at officedepot.com/ink.
I remember my stay at the Blue Beach Hotel in Miami and the amazing view I had from my hotel room. It's been a while. What if there's a huge skyscraper in front of it now? Thankfully, on Trivago, I can look up recent reviews for this hotel from Trivago's trusted sources. Trivago shows you whether these reviews are positive, neutral, or negative, so you can make the best decision. It works for me. That's just one more way Trivago helps you find your ideal hotel for the best price. Hotel Trivago.
More and more people are finding themselves in a Chevrolet for the first time. Trying something new can be exciting, empowering, downright exhilarating. See for yourself why Chevrolet is the most awarded and fastest growing brand the last 4 years overall.
Switch into a new Chevy now. Get 20% below MSRP on all Cruze and Malibu LT models. That's over $5,400 on this Chevy Malibu. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
The only option we have left is abolition or destruction.
Well, Brooke's first appearance on television so far has been very eventful. What will he do during the after the show? Log on right now to find out.
Bye, everybody. Y'all, thanks for having me on the show. This means so much.
It's great to have you
Glad
back.
to have you home. Tune into Brian's radio show.
Oh, yes. It's going to be all based on a true story.
We'll see about that. Good morning, everybody. Fox News Alert now. Breaking news from the White House. President Trump is fired up this morning, blasting the FBI, blasting the, quote, witch hunt of a Mueller investigation after his personal attorney comes under intense scrutiny yesterday. Good morning, everybody. Where are we now? I'm Bill Hemmer, live inside of America's Newsroom. How you doing, kid?
I was going to say, that may be putting it lightly. Big night last night. Yes. All right, I'm Sandra Smith. Let's get right to it. FBI agents zeroing in on attorney Michael Cohen yesterday, raiding his home, office, and hotel rooms for documents. The president not pulling any punches, immediately accusing Mueller's investigators of extreme bias.
I have this witch hunt constantly going on for over 12 months now. And actually much more than that. You could say it was right after I won the nomination it started. And it's a disgrace. It's frankly a real disgrace.
And that was just part of it. Chief White House correspondent John Roberts leads us off today. And John, good morning. He made it clear last night how he felt. How was it this morning?
He was livid last night, and he is still upset this morning about that raid on Michael Cohen's two offices, one in the Trump Organization, the other in Rockefeller Center, as well as his apartment, which is under construction after some water damage, and his hotel room that he's been living in for the last several months. The president with two terse tweets this morning saying, quote, attorney-client privilege is dead, and then tweeting out simply, a total witch hunt. Last night, in a meeting with his national security team that was called to discuss what to do in the wake of the Syria attack, the president went off on the raid and the Mueller investigation in ways that he never has. Listen here.
It's an attack on our country in a true sense. It's an attack on what we all stand for. So when I saw this and when I heard it like you did. I said, that is really now in a whole new level of unfairness.
The president again also heaped criticism on Attorney General Jeff Sessions, blaming him for the investigation getting to this point, again stating that he never would have nominated Sessions to be Attorney General if he knew that Sessions would recuse himself. Listen here.
The Attorney General made a terrible mistake when he did this and when he recused himself, or he should have certainly let us know if he was going to recuse himself, and we would have put a different Attorney General in. So he made what I consider to be a very terrible mistake for the country.
Cohen's offices, his home, and his hotel room was prompted in part by a referral from the special counsel Bob Mueller. That has again raised talk of whether the president might fire Mueller. The president himself didn't dissuade the nation from thinking that last night. Listen here.
Why don't I just fire Mueller? Well, I think it's a disgrace what's going on. We'll see what happens. But I think it's really a sad situation when you look at what happened. And many people have said you should fire him. Again, they found nothing. And in finding nothing, that's a big statement.
Legal sources tell Fox News that they do not think that the president is of a mind to fire Mueller. He is also clearly upset with the Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein, pointing out last night that Rosenstein wrote that memo to justify the firing of James Comey, but that he also signed the FISA warrant that started this whole investigation in the first place. There are a lot of legal experts who believe that Michael Cohen's, the raid on Michael Cohen's offices could be very dangerous for the president because Cohen, quote, knows where all the bodies are buried, if you will. One of the effects of this bill could be that the president now would be much less likely to sit down for an interview with Bob Mueller. One source close to the White House told me, what in God's name is Mueller trying to do? He is trying to take down the president.
No.
Bill?
Thank you, John. Could very well be. We shall see. From the North Lawn, thank you, Sandra.
We're going to have a lot more coming up on this developing story. Senator Rand Paul is here later this hour. And next hour, former U.S. Attorney, Texas Congressman John Ratcliffe will be here on, I reiterate, a developing story because this is changing fast by the minute and hour, Bill.
Yeah, and a lot of reaction, too. We're coming up on that. But the statement last night was pretty extraordinary. You had a cabinet meeting, military members there. John Bolton sitting next to President Trump. First day on the job, and you've got Mueller and Sessions and Syria and Putin all in the same breath, literally. So all that's coming up here as we follow it today.
More breaking news as we enter a critical day for the U.S. response to the atrocities in Syria. President Trump says a decision on what action he will make against Bashar al-Assad could come at any moment after the latest chemical weapons attack. The commander-in-chief also suggesting Russia could pay a price for its role, a message UN Ambassador Nikki Haley reiterated yesterday.
We're making a decision as to what we do with respect to the horrible attack that was made near Damascus, and it will be met, and it will be met forcefully. And when, I will not say, because I don't like talking about timing.
The Russian regime, whose hands are all covered in the blood of Syrian children, cannot be ashamed by pictures of its victims. We've tried that before. We must not overlook Russia and Iran's roles in enabling the Assad regime's murderous destruction.
We have Fox team coverage. General Jack Keane is standing by with analysis, but we begin with Eric Shawn live at the United Nations, where the Security Council could be considering a vote today. Eric?
Good morning, Sandra. You know, the United Nations was established to ensure international peace and security in the wake of World War II and the Holocaust. But when it comes to the overwhelming humanitarian catastrophe in Syria, critics say it has so tragically failed. And today could come another test. The U.S. is pushing for a vote in the Security Council on a resolution dealing with the chemical attack that resolution not only condemns the regime of Bashar al-Assad, but also calls for an independent investigation into the suspected chemical attack. It recalls the horror of chemical weapons, saying their use are a violation of international law. And yesterday, U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations Nikki Haley not only directly blamed Assad, but also Russia, and said the UN's very credibility is on the line.
History will record this as the moment when the Security Council either discharged its duty or demonstrated its utter and complete failure to protect the people of Syria. Either way, the United States will respond.
Well, Russia, which backs Assad along with the Iranians, last year scuttled a previous panel to investigate the chemical weapons use. And Vasily Nebenzia, the Russian ambassador, floated his own proposal, but critics say his resolution is too pro-Assad. And yesterday, Nebenzia criticized the U.S. and our allies.
The leadership of the United States, of the United Kingdom, and of France, without any justifications and without considering the consequences, have engaged in a confrontational policy against Russia and Syria.
Well, a Security Council diplomat tells Fox News that they hope that there will be a vote on this today, but that the Russians found some of the U.S. drafted language, quote, unacceptable. So far, Russia has vetoed 11 resolutions.
4 o'clock in the morning. I would imagine that is not the response that will happen this time. What will?
Yeah, well, this time it's going to be considered to be more challenging and more complicated for a couple of reasons. First of all, that was a retribution measured attack on one airfield, the airfield that originated the chemical attack. And the purpose of it was to deter Assad from ever using chemical weapons again. Well, that didn't work. What's going to work? The only thing that's left to us now, because we know we can't deter him, is we have to take away his capability to deliver chemical weapons and take the chemical weapons away itself. What does that really mean? All rotary wing aircraft, all fixed wing aircraft destroyed, all airfields destroyed, all the maintenance facilities, munition depots and fuel depots that surround those airfields destroyed. Chemical storage sites destroyed. That's the kind of strike we're going to have. Also, he has artillery munitions that he can deliver. We should take down his artillery plus those munitions. What makes it complicated is there's Russians out on those airfields. We should tell the Russians right now that every military base in Syria is vulnerable as a result of this chemical attack. And if you keep your people on those military bases, we are not going to be responsible if they are injured as a result of an attack.
So you could take out Russians, you could take out Iranians, you could unleash chemical weapons into the air without control, without the ability to even know where those chemical weapons could be dispersed. This is a really dangerous mission. This isn't something that happens over a period of hours. This is days, if not longer. And I guess the question then would be, if you're going to go ahead and bomb Syria again, what happens after that?
Well, first of all, to go to your point, yes, the strike would be longer. It's obviously much more comprehensive. The Israelis have hit chemical storage sites before, and there's been no spillover on a civilian community. I'll leave that to the experts in terms of how to handle that. The aftermath of this is we've got to hold the Russians and the Iranians also accountable here. They are a world pariah now, and what we should be doing with them is dragging them into the International Criminal Court. They have enabled chemical weapons attack repeatedly on civilians. And that kind of behavior has got to be held accountable. The UN, that's not going to happen there because Russia will veto it. That's the reality of what we're dealing with. And we also, I think, should not just condemn them, but also sanction them and severely sanction them for this kind of behavior.
Just getting word from the White House, John Roberts reporting the president has canceled his trip to Central and South America. That included stops in Lima, Peru, Bogota, Colombia. At the president's request, the vice president will go instead. Perhaps just to continue the statement, the president stays at the White House to oversee the American response to Syria and to monitor developments around the world. That ups the level of seriousness that we're dealing with now, General.
Well, certainly the president doesn't want to be away when he's ordering our troops to go into harm's way. He wants to be able to, he's the commander-in-chief, he wants to be able to monitor that situation and deal with other decisions that he may have to make.
Everybody's going to pay a price. He will, everybody will, in reference to Assad and Vladimir Putin. Thank you, General. Really need you on this stuff.
Okay.
Thank you for being here.
Good talking to you, Bill.
You too. All right, Sandra, what's next?
And the news just keeps on coming in this morning. Zuckerberg on the hot seat. The social media mogul will face a grilling on Capitol Hill today over the data privacy scandal rocking Facebook. So what can we expect? Plus this.
Thank goodness we have a federal government that will finally pay some attention to what's happening on the border.
So Texas, Arizona step up the numbers of National Guard troops they plan to send south, and we will have more on that as we go live to the border coming up here today.
And former Attorney General Loretta Lynch going public about the Hillary Clinton email investigation and that infamous tarmac meeting with former President Bill Clinton.
Did you have any moment where you said, Mr. President, this is probably not appropriate, or this is going to look bad?
Well, I will say that in the course of the conversation, we spoke, and it seemed like we were going to say hello, hi, how are you, and move on. And then the conversation would continue.
It's 99-cent Kids Nights at Golden Corral. Now kids eat and drink for just 99 cents, under $1. Woo! It's prime time for family time. Come on now. Golden Corral. Your choice. Rules.
You wouldn't accept an incomplete job from anyone else. Why accept it from your allergy pills? Flonase relieves your worst symptoms, including nasal congestion, which most pills don't. Flonase helps block 6 key inflammatory substances. Most pills only block 1. Flonase.
I know what you're thinking. I thought what you thought. Some things are just too good to be true. Just like you, I thought that reverse mortgages had to have some kind of catch, just a way for the banks to get your house, right? Well, then I did some homework, and I found out it's not any of that. It's not another way for the bank to get your house, and it's also not too good to be true. A reverse mortgage loan is a simple idea, really. You turn your home's equity into cash, and you pay it back when you leave the house. Most people use the money to pay off their existing mortgage or pay some bills, cover medical costs, even update their home. And, just as importantly, you still own your home. And you make no monthly mortgage payments. It's a loan designed just for older Americans, and it's helped hundreds of thousands to live a more stable, secure retirement and stay in the home they love.
AAG is the leader in reverse mortgages. Call us today for your free information kit. It will answer all your questions and help you decide if a reverse mortgage is right for you and how to qualify.
I know what you're thinking. I did too. I felt the same way. But I checked it out, and I found out a lot more. It's pretty simple. A reverse mortgage from AAG can give you the retirement stability you're looking for. Maybe you want to check it out.
If you're 62 or older and own your own home, give AAG a call to receive your free information kit. You'll receive the information you're looking for, as well as tell you how much cash you may qualify for. Call 1-800-244-2209 and receive your free information kit.
AAG, bringing stability to your retirement.
Let's say you're moving to Florida, or maybe Minnesota, or how about Texas? No matter where it is you're moving to, let 1-800-PACK-RAT help get you there. We take the stress out of your long-distance move.
I'm really into this car, but how do I know if I'm getting a good deal? I tell TrueCar my zip and which car I want, and TrueCar shows the range of prices people in my area actually paid for the same car, so I know if I'm getting a great price. This is how car buying was always meant to be. This is TrueCar.
Get new floors during Empire Today's gigantic 75% off sale. That's carpet, tile, laminate, and even hardwood, 75% off. Empire makes beautiful new floors easy. See samples in your home, get a free estimate during your appointment, and have your floors professionally installed. Update your floors with Empire and get 75% off carpet, tile, laminate, and hardwood. Schedule now.
800-588-2300 Empire.
Today.
I imagine it will get political. I imagine the Russia matter will come up.
I don't doubt that.
Yeah. Do you expect any surprises in the 15 seconds we have left here?
I don't think any big surprises other than, you're right, they're going to try and play the Russia issue to the hilt. But there are lots of other issues that will come up and that we'll examine this.
So that from John Thune last night. Senator John Thune, chairman of one of the two Senate committees that will question the Facebook CEO, Mark Zuckerberg. He's meeting with Thune and other top lawmakers. That was yesterday. Byron York, chief political correspondent, Washington Examiner, Fox News contributor. Byron, how are you? Good day to you.
Good morning, Bill.
I think, this is just a guess here, but I think some of the most fire today will likely come from Democratic senators who will lay the election results at the feet of Mark Zuckerberg. Is that where this is going today, based on Thune's response? When I suggested Russia's going to come up, and he pretty much said you can believe that.
I believe you can bet on it. There will be some ritual beatings, which are kind of a tradition on Capitol Hill. Give a senator 5 minutes. He'll take about 4 minutes and 45 seconds to talk, and then maybe throw a question on at the end. But a number of Democrats obviously very angry about Facebook and its role in the 2016 election. First, they were upset about Russian ads and postings. Probably didn't have a whole lot of influence there, but they were upset about it. And then came the Cambridge Analytica thing, the political firm that had helped Donald Trump and had used personal data from millions of Facebook users. Now, those are things that have a lot of Democrats very upset, but Facebook's problems have actually grown since then to include bigger issues of privacy and how the company uses all of that personal data that its 2 billion users put into their Facebook pages.
Now, you think about that. I mean, the global reach of this company is just extraordinary. Zuckerberg is, there seems to be a lot of anticipation for how he sounds, how he acts, what he says. I read a statement yesterday. He's contrite. Larry Kudlow has a different question from the White House. He asked this yesterday.
Is he going to wear a suit and tie and clean white shirt? That's my biggest question.
Do you think Facebook
is he going to behave like an adult as a major corporate leader, or give me this phony baloney? What is it? Hoodies and dungarees, and what is that kind of signal cell?
You don't think much of Mark Zuckerberg?
I think I could help him clean up his act.
A little snarky, Byron. And Zuckerberg showed up yesterday in suit and tie. What is his demeanor today?
Contrite. He's going to talk about these mistakes were made. We made these mistakes. He's going to take personal responsibility because he created Facebook and runs it in every way. And then he's going to talk about what Facebook is doing to make things better, to improve the situation, to increase privacy protections for its users. And part of the big thing here is the threat of regulation of Facebook. And I think he's basically wanting to tell the Senate and the House, the Senate today, House tomorrow, that that Facebook will clean up its own act and does not need the government to step in and regulate.
I don't know what the government does, Byron. I mean, do you have a solution in all this? Like at the end of 2 days of hearings, what did they come away with?
Well, we've seen some very narrow suggestions that Facebook should be made to be more transparent about political ads that appear on its platforms and things like that. But the prospect of some sort of grand regulation, big regulation, doesn't seem to be very high here. First of all, Facebook is a very powerful company, and they've hired zillions of lawyers and lobbyists here in Washington, and unlikely that any big changes will come as a result of these hearings.
Thank you, Byron. We'll watch it together.
Thank you, Bill.
I mean, a lot of interest. We'll see whether or not it lives up to the hype. Thank you, sir, from D.C. Here's Sandra.
Thanks. One of the senators who will be in that hearing room joins us next hour. Senator Cory Gardner tells us what he hopes to learn today. And take a look at this stunning video showing several young girls jumping from a burning building to save their lives. More on that horrifying escape ahead.
Excuse me a minute. Hi, Dad. No, don't try to get up.
Hi, I'm Julie, a right-at-home caregiver. And if I'd been caring for Tom's dad, I would have noticed some dizziness that could lead to balance issues. That's because I'm trained to report any changes in behavior, no matter how small. So Tom could have peace of mind.
We'll be right there. We have to go.
Hey, Tom, you should try Right at Home. They're great for us.
The right care, right at home.
I promise.
to have and to hold from this day forward till death do us part.
SelectQuote can help you keep your promise with life insurance starting at under $1 a day.
But you promised, Dad.
Come on. SelectQuote helped Jim, 41, keep his promise by finding him a $500,000 policy for under $26 per month. And found Kathy, 37, a $750,000 policy for just $22 per month. Since 1985, we've helped millions of families by finding them affordable coverage by impartially shopping highly rated insurers offering over 70 policies.
Dad, you're coming, right? You promise? You promise? You promise?
I promise. Keep your promise. Call SelectQuote at 800-304-3359 or visit SelectQuote.com for life insurance coverage starting at under $1 a day. We shop, you save.
Last year's ad campaign was a success for ChoiceHotels.com.
Bada book, bada boom.
This year, we're taking it up a notch.
So in this commercial, we see two travelers at a Comfort Inn with a glow around them. So people watching will be like, wow, maybe I'll glow too if I book direct at ChoiceHotels.com. Who glows? Just say bada book, bada boom.
Nobody glows.
He gets it.
Always the lowest price, guaranteed. Book now at ChoiceHotels.com. Did you know that a dirty CPAP system can make you sick? If you knew what could be growing in your mask and hose, it would keep you up at night. Now SoClean.com has released the world's first and only automated hands-free CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. With its patented design, SoClean is fast, effective, and hands-free, killing 99.9% of all CPAP germs. Try SoClean now through this special TV offer free for 30 days. Just call 800-650-4157.
My health has improved. It's simple to use, and I'm not worried about infections.
SoClean works on all CPAP machines and popular masks, destroying CPAP bacteria, viruses, and germs without the daily hassle of washing your system by hand. Just place your mask in, close the lid, and in just minutes, voila! Sanitized and ready to use. Try SoClean risk-free for 30 days. This is a limited time offer. Call now, 800-650-4157, or visit SoClean.com today.
Several girls jumping for their lives from a burning dance studio in New Jersey. Have you seen this? It is caught on camera. You can see several girls. See that dangling from a second-story balcony before dropping away from the flames? That fire started in a restaurant below and quickly spread to the other floors. No one came out of this with an injury, and that is remarkable news.
Life-saving decisions those girls had to make, and the Good Samaritans who were down below to catch them. An amazing story there.
Well done.
These Guard troops are there to support the Border Patrol, so it allows us to get more from the Border Patrol to the border. It gets more boots on the ground, and they serve in a support capacity, which they'll be very good at.
Arizona Governor Doug Ducey there. Border security and pledging to send more National Guard troops following President Trump's request last week. But not all border states are on board. William Lajeunesse joins us now live from the National Guard Armory in Phoenix. William.
Well, Sandra, I can now tell you how many, where they're coming from, where they're going, and what they're going to do. Air support is going to be a big part of that. But 3 states, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, have dedicated 1,600 troops out of the 4,000 the president has asked for. Now, many have been deployed, but they have not yet arrived. They're going through processing, paperwork, medical, dental, where they're going to live, how they're going to eat. Also, the Border Patrol and the National Guard are trying to match the skill set to where they're going. Now, Arizona has 12 border towns, roughly, places you haven't heard of, Lukeville, Ajo, Naco. So these troops, 350 in Arizona, will be dispersed along Arizona's 400-mile border with Mexico.
Do we stop the flow of illegal drugs? Do we stop the flow of human trafficking? Can we stop illegal migrants from coming over? Those will be the numbers that are the measurement.
So the troops cannot arrest or seize drugs. In Texas, we know some will be armed, but only for defensive purposes. Now, use. Helicopters, number 1. Reconnaissance, number 2. Trying to help interdict illegal immigrants that the agents are tracking. And number three, a capability they don't have right now is if you see a large group, drop some agents into the canyons of the mountains with these big Black Hawks to try to interdict people, which right now they're having to wait several days to interdict them later on. Also, repair vehicles, maintain roads. You know, apprehension isn't just not about detection. You have to go get them. That means speed. That means good roads. And they'll be building some, improving those as well. Number three, surveillance. Border Patrol has got a lot of cameras, a lot of sensors, a lot of radar. And so they'll be monitoring those cameras to allow the agents to better work in the field. We're talking possibly 18 months, so other states eventually will have to chip in as well. Back to you.
A fascinating story. We'll keep watching it. William LaJeunesse, thank you. Still ahead, Ron Vitiello, the Deputy Commissioner of U.S. Customs and Border Protection, will be joining us live on the latest update on the mission down there at the border.
In the meantime, 27 past the hour now. Breaking news, the president making it clear the chemical attack in Syria is his top priority at this hour. Officially canceling a pre-planned trip to South America. He'll monitor the crisis from the White House, and more on that coming up momentarily here.
Is the tough talk on China making a difference? A potential thaw as China promises to cut tariffs on certain American imports.
And former AG Loretta Lynch now talking about that infamous tarmac meeting with President Bill Clinton. What she said as our panel takes that up. Coming up.
It's all around you. You know, it's my favorite question from reporters when they would say, when are you going to wrap this up? And they would also add, because she's running for president, you know.
People would stare. Psoriasis does that.
It was tough getting out there on stage.
I wanted to be clear. I wanted it to last.
So I kept on fighting.
I found something that worked and keeps on working.
Now, they see me.
See me.
See if Cosentyx could make a difference for you. Cosentyx is proven to help people with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis find clear skin that can last. Don't use if you're allergic to Cosentyx. Before starting Cosentyx, you should be checked for tuberculosis. An increased risk of infections and lowered ability to fight them may occur. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, or if you've received a vaccine or plan to. If you have inflammatory bowel disease, tell your doctor if symptoms develop or worsen. Serious allergic reactions may occur.
Never give up.
See me.
See me.
Clear skin can last.
Don't hold back. Ask your dermatologist if Cosentyx can help you find clear skin that lasts.
Have you been diagnosed with spinal stenosis?